All right, we were at the Pikes Peak Marathon and Ascent Run Fest, and I got Joe Gray here, two-time winner of the Ascent. Is that right?
Yep.
2 times. That's awesome. And Joe's back in the race this year. And Joe, just kind of tell us a little bit about your preparation for this year's race.
This year I've focused more on some strength work. I had a long layover, or layoff from sports, so not been able to work on the speed as much, which has been a plus side. My training above tree line has went a lot better this year, so the strength is definitely there.
Yeah, that's good, because that tree line is where the whole thing is won or lost.
I mean, it can be. I think it depends on what you're shooting for. If you're shooting for a time, both up and down, below and above tree line are really important. But yeah, you can really falter up there if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, exactly. And you were hurt for a while. Now you're back.
I was. Yeah.
What happened?
I had a little mishap. Stepped in a hole and kind of jerked myself and kind of.
How long were you out?
And I was early January until almost May.
And that's like eternity for you guys.
Yeah, that was rough. So.
How's the conditioning?
Good. Yeah, I'm coming in, like I said, better shape than I've come in for this race before. So which is kind of ironic, just because I haven't had as much time. But I'll take it.
A lot of talk about race records leading up, and it's just a lot. It's just talk, and I think people shoot a little fast and loose when they talk about race records, because you never know when it's going to happen. But is that something you even think about?
Yeah, obviously there's a few races that you do a year where records are in your mind, and then there's most races that you're doing, you're really thinking about going out there and performing and competing with athletes. So this year I've come in with more of an objective standpoint, and I want to go for a time.
You race all over the world. And you live here, of course, but what keeps you coming back to Pikes Peak?
It's a local one. There's a lot of local support here. I don't know, it's a mountain right in your backyard. You want to kind of make sure if there's a big race in your backyard that you defend the territory, kind of, so you don't want someone outsider coming out here and taking the W.
You've raced in Europe, lots of countries. How does Pikes Peak compare in terms of just the difficulty of it? All uphill, 14,115 feet. Talk about that a little bit.
I've done races that are a little bit higher. So I think the big difference is that at Pikes, the atmosphere is different. You have a lot more depth. If you're having a bad day, you could get passed by a couple people, as opposed to many of the other races that are similar. Altitude-wise, you might get passed by 1 or 2 people if you kind of blow up. But a race like this, where it's a little deeper, it's more. You got to be competitive all the way to the finish. You can't really let up. Yeah,
and you're at 12,000 feet. You're tired. The air is getting thinner. The trail keeps going up. How do you keep your head in the game?
I got a lot of things on my mind. I'm running for not just myself. I'm raising money for the counterlighters. I got a family, so I got goals, and I'm racing. I'm representing a lot of different people outside of myself, so it's not just about me. So when those times get tough, it's like I know it's not about me, and I got a lot on my shoulders that I got to run hard.
Since you last raced here, you and Christy have had a baby boy. What's his name?
Isaiah.
How old is Isaiah now?
He just turned 1.
He just turned 1. Yeah. Walking yet?
He walks when he wants to.
Okay.
Yeah. If you give him something to chase, he'll give him a little gummy or something. He'll definitely walk.
How becoming a father change you?
It's focused me in a different way. My perspective on life has changed a little bit too. So, but I definitely feel like it's maybe more hungry when it comes to being competitive.
Right.
So it's been a very positive thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm happier.
Yeah. Let's talk about your sponsors. Who all sponsoring you now? Just go ahead and plug them all, man.
I have a couple different, like second-tier sponsors, but the main companies I'm working with right now are Astavita, Hoka 11, Fuel 100 Electrobytes, and Amp Human. So those are the main components that I'm sponsored by right now. I'm working on some new stuff to bring in to hopefully 2020 or maybe a little sooner. Yeah. Now tell me about the nonprofit you're working for. So no, it's something I do on my own,
Oh.
but I raise money based off of my prize money every year, and I donate that to the Candlelighters. So it's a childhood cancer society here in
That's
town.
awesome.
Yeah.
And you were doing a thing for a while at the high schools, providing shoes or something.
Also, that was my Inspired Diversity project.
Okay.
So basically, there's a big lack of black athletes in the media, and so my goal with this was, I checked with my sponsors, and they were supportive of it, and they gave me some product, and I reached out to the community and I asked, if there's a young black athlete who's out there new to the sport, or maybe they're not new to the sport, but they could use some support.
Yeah.
And I looked at some of the names. I found a guy and went out and met with him and gave him some stuff, and it was good, man. It felt good to give back to the community.
Yeah, you gonna keep that going?
I would like to. Yeah, I'd like to do a couple athletes every year.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, brother. So, going to be a lot of good runners on the line coming up.
Yeah.
That gets you pretty fired up, doesn't it?
Yeah. I love racing. I mean, I think that's why you do it, is to race the best guys in the game. So,
yeah.
I'm excited.
How many times you summit Pikes Peak this year?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't keep track of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You just go.
I know I've had some quality runs up it. So for me, that's if it was only one time, and I was hitting some of the times I've hit in the past, I'm happy with that. So.
Yeah. 2 wins. Tell me what it'd be like to hit the finish line first for number 3.
Well, it depends on what I run.
Yeah.
I think every win is not equal.
Right.
So if I run a good time, run a PR, then it means more.
Yeah.
If I don't PR, then I have to reflect on that and say, well, maybe you won, but you didn't run to what you should have run.
Yeah.
You didn't run to your potential. So
overall, you feeling confident?
yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Definitely.
Good. It's awesome, man. It's always good to talk to you.
Hey, good to talk to you as well.
All right, brother.